Get all this stuff all straight together. Okay. Why aren't we syncing? So we'll come up here and hit this refresh, and that should sync us in. Booyah, there we are. Little thumbas up right here. Good morning, Santee. Hope you're doing good this morning. Throw that up there. And come over and share us out on Facebook. And there we are. Oh, hope you guys are doing good. Good morning, Rusty. Good to see you. It is Friday. Finally, one more week to Halloween weekend. It's going to be a busy week. You guys will not believe what I found 2 days ago. I was researching something else for a video for this coming Sunday, the 23rd, and I found something that completely blew my mind. I never heard the tale before. It is the origin, the true legend behind one of the most famous songs ever written. It has been re-recorded over 50 times by 50 different performers. I have heard this song since I was a baby and never knew that there was an actual ghostly legend behind this song. So, wait till Sunday. It's going to be really cool. Let me see here. One more week till cabin vacation. Whoop, whoop. That's right. So fed up with the school and the state. Can't wait to find a house. We're going to have to talk about that one because something tells me it just probably just going to piss me off. Let me see here. Good morning, Vegas Paranormal. Glad you could join us this morning. Go south, Tyler, to a free state. Yeah, really. No, the song is not. Another one bites the dust. The school is pulling the sexiest card. I'm thinking that you meant sexist card. The sexist card with you. What? Because you're a dad and not a mom, you can't adequately take care of your daughters? The school's full of sexist card. I'm never allowed on campus when they Yeah, I know, and it's usually the ugliest teacher that does it. Apparently, they think I'm incapable of treating head lice. Well, that should fall into the responsibility of all the parents of students that have it, and not just one, because you treat yours and they come out clean and they go back to school and in 2 days they got it again because some other sleazoid out there that thinks Suave shampoo kills head lice um, don't have the money to go out and spend on the stuff. So yeah, don't worry, bud. They're dirt to durs, you know. So don't. When there's something that's messed up, look look up the ice cream truck song. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. Busy day today, guys. I had to do my videos ahead. Not only have I got this going on this morning, the wife is going through one of her, I'm not going to say her last, but her last for the week training for this new position, but she's got to drive 45 minutes longer to the casino that she's going to be working at. Thank God it's supposed to finally be back up in the 70s instead of the 30s and 40s where it's been all week long for the highs. Of course, you guys know we had snow the beginning of the week, so. But tomorrow morning, bright and early, my son, daughter in law, and the two youngest kids are making the 3 hour trip north to hang out with us. It's my son and daughter in law's birthday. So, we're going to be doing the breakfast thing when they get here, and then the wife is going to make um, homemade chicken and noodles and mashed potatoes and stuff. We got them a cake. Uh, can't believe my son is 32 years old. Doesn't seem possible. Let me see here. I'm degraded in front of all of the parents and students outside in front of the school building. They don't even pull me off the side or anything. Um, that that just proves how immature they are. That just proves how immature they are. If they're gonna pull shit like that, that's just yeah, that's just a whole different level of immaturity. It I hate to say it, I don't want to make light of it or make a joke of it, but it kind of reminds me of the South Park episode where they test the kids for head lice and they don't tell, you know, they don't tell who the kid is with them. Turns out that everybody wants to beat up the dirty kid, but then the truth comes out that everybody in the entire class had it. So, they're sitting here degrading you because, you know, they're dickheads. And truth be known, every kid in the class has got them. So it's BS, man. Duck back it. Duck back it. Let it roll off your back like water on a duck. Don't let them. Don't. I know we went through this just a few months ago, when you had to treat the girls, keep them home, do all that. You did everything just right. And what's really sad is they sit and they talk about um, the lice in the school, but yet they give the kids outside recess. You can catch head lice off of a fly that lands on your head. Lice fall out of a tree in a breeze. They can pick it up out of the grass. So, yeah, it's not a dirty thing. So don't. You're right. It's very humiliating. It's very humiliating. That's why I want to leave. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But now that you have sole custody of the girls, kind of let that, um, when they're out of the bag. Everybody. He did have court the other day. He did get sole custody of his daughters. Yes, the hooker still gets visitation, but there are stipulations to the visitation. So all those prayers and stuff that y'all threw out there for Ty and his daughters actually worked. He did get sole custody of his girls, and the drug abusive hooker gets visitation if she passes the test. She has to continuously be a good girl and not do any negative testing, or she loses the visitation. But the good thing about having sole custody of girls is now you can move. You don't got to stay in Iowa no more. I agree, Tony. I agree. Take the girls to the doctor. Have the doctor test them. Have the doctor treat them. That way the school cannot fall back on you and say that it's your fault. Take them to a medical professional. Let him take care of it. Tony Lee, good morning. Hope you're doing good this morning. Way over across the pond. Well, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Hope you're doing good this afternoon over across the pond. Doctor wrote a letter saying these kids don't have head lice, nor do they show any that could be mistaken for lice. There you go. That is absolutely right. Having a gay old morning. Good morning, Joe. Hope you're doing well. Well, you're doing gay, apparently. Which is cool. I mean, it's on you, bud. Whatever makes your pull pop. It's all right. Oh man, but yeah, got to get ready for tonight. Of course, tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have got Ben Goldman from Afterlife Road. He's going to be our guest on Ghost to Ghost PM tonight. Of course, Ben just done a mini movie on the history of Afterlife Road, some of their investigations and stuff. It's available to watch on the Afterlife Road website. Still doing the investigations. Been a busy man. But we're going to talk about the history of Afterlife Road. We are going to talk about the mini movie. We're going to talk about movie production. We are going to talk about the future of Afterlife Road, the investigations, the whole shebang. Of course, Ben went to college for I believe some type of movie production, and see, that's illegal, Tyler. That is illegal. You are not their slave. They don't own you. They can't tell you where to live. That is illegal. I would fight that in the highest court in the state of Iowa. Once you have sole custody of those kids, you can live anywhere in the world you want to. That came straight from a child custody judge. A state has no right to tell you where you can reside when you have full custody of children. She has to do her testimony next weekend random in order to get supervised visitation. Well, she should have it done by now, because you told me it was she had 48 hours from the time she left the courtroom on Tuesday to complete that test to have the visitation, and it has been 72 hours. So she should have completed it by now. If she hasn't, once again, you can fight it, because she's not complying with court orders. Today, dog claw off by accident. Otherwise, we're all right. Ow! Poor dog. Yeah, exactly, Tony. You can't say anything without offending somebody. Which is why in a lot of my videos and stuff, I'll put that little disclaimer at the front about offending snowflakes, little boo-boo kitties, and stuff like that. If you guys don't read my little viewer discretion warnings at the front of the videos, I would suggest that you do, only because I try not to be serious, but at the same time, I don't mind pissing somebody off. So, all right, Ty, sounds good. Oh, but yeah, I got Ben coming on tonight, guys. My son, daughter-in-law, and the two youngest kids are coming in tomorrow. Um, Sunday, I got the video released. Next week, um, we're gonna try to fit in um, an investigation. We have got the Great Lakes Ghostbuster Coalition and Kalamazoo Ghostbusters invading the um, yeah, the Morris Performing Arts Center in South Bend for Ghostbusters in concert. Um, we have Halloween. So busy, busy, busy. Not to mention, the normal operations, videos, live streams, dirt to dirt. So, Tony York, I get mad when they chastise me for saying the wrong thing that I've been saying for 40 years. You guys heard that our prime. Yes, I did. I seen that this morning when I got up, Tony Lee. Um, couldn't believe that the prime minister's um, resigning after such a short time. Bring Boris back. And of course, in other news, and I don't know if it affects you guys in your neck of the woods or not, but due to the ever strong pushback over in Europe between Russia and the Ukraine, Russia's advances and their increase in hostility, their rocket attacks, blah 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 blah. For some reason, food prices have skyrocketed again. The wife stopped yesterday to try to get a dozen eggs, and it was $4 for a dozen eggs, um, $10 for a 2.5 dozen pack. Now, I understand we're in a state that does a lot of egg production, so normally our eggs are less than $1 a dozen. So they've over doubled the price of eggs for some reason. Meat the same way. The wife went to, like I said, she stopped the store on the way home yesterday. She was going to pick up a few things, and the meat for the manager specials was twice as much as the meat normally is fresh. So, yeah, um, crazy, isn't it? Some do want Bozo back. Hey, Jan, morning. You're all right. No problem. Let me see here. Z-Man, what up? What up? Hope you're doing good. Oh, goodness gracious. Have I missed anybody else? My God. So much stuff going on. I just can't flipping. No, we're not in a recession. No. You know, I'm supposed to be eating a lot of salads and stuff like that. The wife went to pick up a head of lettuce, $2.99 for a head of lettuce. They're normally 89 cents here. So, but according to the news, um, Brandon just freed up like 1 billion barrels of oil to drop the fuel prices in the country. So as the fuel prices go down, food prices are going to go up. So we'll have the gas to go places, but we won't have the energy to leave the house. Good job, Brandon. Wife just bought gas the other day, paid three something a gallon for it. So, but it's going up. Well, it was going up. Now it's supposed to go down. So we'll see what happens with that. Was up late last night debating with a friend. He's a flat earther. Hey, to each their own. The reserve oil will be gone in a day, which is really kind of weird, Tony, because back when Trump was president and people were worried about gas prices continuing to go up and stuff like that, they released that study saying the oil we have in reserves right now, if we used no other oil, if we bought no other oil from anywhere, we have enough oil in the reserves right now to last this country for the next century. So it's really kind of weird that, they say now that it'd be gone in a day. No, it wasn't. Not in the least. People are morons. Z-Man, flat earth thing would be experiment to see who would fall off of it in the debate. Well, so often we've heard the term go, about jumping off a pier. Tell them to go jump off the earth. Prove that it's flat. Go find the edge and jump off. Do us all a big favor. And I hear that Biden sold some of that reserve. Good job, Rusty. Good job using the visual aids. On that description. He also tried to convince me the moon landing was shot in a studio. I can't stand that topic. Yeah. It's actually really kind of funny because with the new American Horror Stories starting the other night, the wife and I, she started watching the last season again before she started watching the new one. And it happened to be the alien one, and they took some of the kids that had been captured for breeding purposes by the aliens at Area 51, and took them to the set where the moon landing was supposedly. So that's kind of ironic that you guys touched on that, because I was watching that episode with her the other night. And I'm like, they started walking on the set, and, there's the lunar module and the flag and everything. And I looked at my wife. I said, hey, look, they're at the studio where they faked the moon landing at. And she looked at me and she just shook her head. I said, wow, you really hate history, but you know that story. That's amazing. Oh yeah, definitely a waste of breath trying to convince somebody. It's like sitting down with a diehard Christian and trying to prove to them all the science behind the fact that would support the fact that there is no God. Sometimes you just have to have faith. Science can't prove everything. Yeah, you can see the junk left on the moon with a powerful enough telescope. Yes, you can. My daughter-in-law's father is one of those who don't believe. Oh, of course, we always run across people that don't believe. They don't believe, even if you throw the evidence right down in front of them. Right down in front of them. We'll see this. His thing is he believes space isn't real, that it's simply an image. He claims on NASA website their photos say image, not photograph, and that image means data recorded and made. Oh my God, he's a literalist. He's a literalist. You've lost this debate already. You cannot debate with a literalist because they literally take everything as fact. So everything, even if they can whip their own ass in a debate because of that, they will take each and every word literally. So they'll make one point in one sentence, and then they will completely blow themselves out of the water and their theories with the next sentence. Yeah, you can't. Created in the Big Bang, or they believe that we were created by an almighty God, or whatever the fact may be. The earth is round, the earth is square, the earth is flat. We landed on the moon, we've had extraterrestrial contact, ghosts are real, ghosts aren't real, whatever the fact, whatever they believe in. There's just no getting past their beliefs. Big Bang. Once there was nothing, then nothing blew up and made everything. Yep, that's it. That's it. Right there. In a nutshell. Good job. And the lesson of creation has begun. And God is harder to believe than nothing blowing the fuck up into everything. And Paranormal Hottie is hot. Oh, I'm sure this debate lasted for a long time. Well past your bedtime. It kind of reminds me of the girl that I used to date when I actually thought of converting to Catholicism because her family was Catholic. And, I was very serious about, and I'm kind of glad that it didn't happen because I wouldn't be where I am today. But, I was going to marry this girl. And, I was going to convert to Catholicism. And I sat down with the priest and was talking to him. Well, her and I sat down and was talking to him about converting to Catholicism. And one of the very first words, or one of the very first things that come out of his mouth in that first paragraph was, well, with Catholicism being the oldest religion in the world. And I said, wait a second. I said 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago, I thought Judaism was the original religion because everybody was Jewish and followed Christ, which was Jewish. Oh, but they weren't an organized religion. You didn't say organized. You said the oldest religion. And even before that, there was Druidism and, um, you know, uh, pagan. They weren't Catholic. Well, they weren't real religions. But anyway. All right, guys. Rusty is kicking in today in history already. We are going to follow along and do some history stuff. Just as soon as I take a drink of coffee and relight my cigar. Not necessarily in that order. (1774) First display of the word liberty on a flag, raised by colonists in Taunton, Massachusetts, and which was in defiance of British rule of colonial America. 1797, the USS Constitution Old Ironside is launched in Boston. Yeah, Christ was a Jew. And though I may not be the most religious person in the world, I have a lot of respect for Jews today, holding on to their religious beliefs through all the persecution and everything that they've gone through over the centuries. I have some Jewish friends, and I highly respect them and their beliefs. 1861, the Battle of Balls Bluff, Virginia. Somebody got their balls kicked that day. I tell you what. 1864, Battle of Westport, Missouri. In Kansas City. Light that coffee and sip that cigar, then you got it. I am taking every piece of meat off this chicken leg I can possibly get. I got one little teeny tiny pack of cigars left, and I gotta stretch them puppies out as long as I can. Let me see here. Learned a long time ago not to bring up Catholic religion to a priest. He wouldn't like me being paranormal either. Well, I've told you guys before, but it's been a long time. Grandma grew up Catholic, and her family came from Poland, and she was the first generation of her family at 84 years old to be born in America. So back before she had the stroke, that was a regular debate that we would have with each other, out of fun and love, mind you. But it was a regular debate. We would sit out here at the table and debate the oldest religion and the different beliefs and things like that. So it was actually really kind of fun. I miss that. That's one of the things I miss most about her having the stroke, and it affecting her memory and things like that. So let me see here. 1868, severe earthquake at 7.53 a.m. or 7:53 a.m. centered in Hayward, California. 1869, first shipment of fresh oysters comes overland from Baltimore. I bet there was a lot of sick bastards that day. Overland oysters. 1897, New York's Observatory of the University of Chicago is dedicated. 1902, in the United States, a 5-month strike by United Mine Workers ends. 1911, R.S. Hickens and M. Hudson's Garden of Allah premieres in New York City. I got nothing against Catholics, but damn, everything that feels good is a sin. Yep, I'm first generation to be born in America on my dad's side. 1915, first transatlantic radio telephone message, Arlington, Virginia to Paris. I wonder how that conversation started. I don't understand you. Can you speak slower? 1915, William Jennings Bryan's successor as U.S. Secretary of State Robert Lansing sends a note to Britain protesting interference with U.S. shipping. I mean, I even told his bonehead if indeed the Earth is flat, gravity would have crushed humanity. What about seasons? Or how about whenever there's an eclipse, it's always circular? Well, that's kind of half-assed explained. Instead of the Earth being flat and square, they think it's like a manhole cover. So they can rebut that eclipse thing with, well, if it's flat like a manhole cover, it would make a flat reflection on the moon. 1918, Margaret Owen sets world typing speed record at 170 words per minute for 1 minute. And her fingers looked like this when she was done. Looking forward to tonight's live stream, Jew. Hey, Scott, good to see you, bud. I am too. I love Ben. I love Ben to pieces. And after, knowing each other and talking to each other for 2.5 years, finally meeting at Ghostorama back in August, it was great. I cannot wait to hook up with him and his crew and actually do an investigation together. But I love having Ben on Ghost to Ghost PM. He's a compendium of information. It's always fun when he's there. 1925, Sidney Howard's Lucky Sam McGarver premieres in New York City. Go up on a mountain, you can see the curvature of the world. Yeah, you can. You can. Music history, 1944. Walter Pistons. Fuju for a Victory Tune premieres in New York City. He claims to have bought into this theory 17 years of age. All I could say is, I'm sorry. Let's see. 1948, facsimile high-speed radio transmission demonstrated, Washington, D.C. At least that didn't come from New York City. It's Danny. Danny released a TikTok. 1959, Guggenheim Museum, designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, opens in New York. Very cool. Hey, don't forget, guys, like I said, pay close attention on Sunday. There is a very special video coming up. And I found this by accident. One thing about the video that I can tell you, you have not seen a video like this from me since back when I first started the original channel. There is no downloaded videos from anybody else. This is completely and totally me from the beginning till the end. I found information on a the truth behind a song that's been popular since the 1940s. It's been redone over 50 times by 50 different performers since the 1940s. But I found out that it's actually based on a true legend, a haunted, ghostly legend coming out of Texas. So, yes, I actually talked and don't. I always research. I always research, but a lot of times, because of time restraints, I have to do the rehashing of videos. Um, I just, it's necessary to be able to actually survive and have time to go to the bathroom or brush my hair or wash my face. Um, I rehash. This time I did not rehash. I actually talk. Clients, you actually talk, research. Oh man, I went to the eye doc yesterday, and I'm $500 lighter. That's why I'm thankful I have insurance, because with the diabetes and the neuropathy and my eyes, my ears, my back, the arthritis, my knees. Yeah, I would be selling myself into slavery to be able to pay off all this stuff. So I'm real thankful for halfway decent insurance. I just talked to my insurance provider yesterday, day before yesterday, and they found me a new eye doctor that I have to go to. This eye doctor does not believe in waiting till glaucoma starts to affect both eyes before they want to do something. He wants to knock it out the second there's a problem. So I've got to set up an appointment with them. Hopefully I'll get in, we'll get the right eye taken care of, and maybe I can see clear again. So we will see what happens with that. 1960, JFK and Nixon clashed in fourth and final presidential debate. JFK would have kicked his butt if they would have clashed. Psh. 1964 film version of My Fair Lady, directed by George Cukor and starring Rex Harrison and Audrey Hepburn, premieres in New York City. Academy Award Best Picture, 1965. Bong time. Dude, I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you. Yes, I live in a legal state where you can smoke and stuff like that. I can't handle the stuff. I can't handle the stuff. Just being around people doing it. I understand I don't ever bash anybody for doing what they do. I believe everybody has the right to live their life as they want to live their life. And I have no less respect for them than I do anybody else. Just being around it, I can't breathe. I cough, I hack. It makes my lungs feel like I've got 20 pounds sitting on my chest. Can't do it. Can't do it. Wish I could. It'd make my eyes a lot better. And I probably wouldn't have any problem with glaucoma or anything either. But I can't. I've tried. I can't. Just being around it, just trying to inhale the secondhand stuff. I mean, it just buggers me up. Let me see here. Again, I still can't believe he tried to convince me extraterrestrial are Nazis from the Fourth Reich. Like I can't do anything but face palm. He's a good friend. All but he needs a teacher. Flying Nazis. I like that. Yeah, I would like to see. Yeah, I would like for you to see again. It'd be kind of nice. It'd be kind of nice. I get tired of wearing that eye patch on sunny days. I feel bad for myself this winter if we can't do anything until spring. With the sun reflecting off the snow and stuff, I'm going to be looking like an Arctic pirate walking around with that eye patch on to keep that glare out of my eye. So I'm literally, I'm serious as a heart attack. When it gets really bright out, it it kind of messes with this eye, because if you can imagine taking sweat or grease or oil or something and rubbing it all over the right lens of one pair side of pair of glasses, putting it on, it completely throws your equilibrium, your balance, everything off, because you're looking through a dirty fish tank over here, and this one's still clear. So to be able to see again, oh yeah, be great. Yeah, I know you don't have to smoke the stuff, but do you guys not remember the chocolate chip drop cookie incident of a few months ago when my mother-in-law's friend made the miniature chocolate chip drop cookies for grandma, and grandma picked them up, which she never does, and why she did it we'll never know, but picked them up and put them over with the regular cookies and stuff. And I got up one morning, I'd been up for 5 hours almost, ate those 6 little drop cookies. I mean, they were no bigger than a 50-cent piece, but each one had a double dose in it. So basically, I took 12 hits before the live stream, and by the end of the live stream, I was high stepping through the house. I was goose stepping because the floor literally looked like it did this. By 1 o'clock, I thought I was having a stroke. Anxiety level was up. I couldn't see. Um, I thought I was having a stroke. I don't bake with the fishing. Holy crapola, dude. Holy crapola, there's fishing. Man, I was just thinking about you about 7:30. It's like, if I do not hear from him today, I am calling him again. Because I called you 2 weeks ago, left a message. Been worried about you. Been worried about my friend. Make no mistake, lion's share, IDOC money was the missus, not me. There you go. Earth moving 140 million miles per second in the Milky Way. That is paranoia. Still in Georgia? Well, that explains why you didn't show up here Saturday 2 weeks ago. So I sat around and waited for you and never heard from you. And I think it was the day after that that I called and left a message, make sure you was okay. And yeah, it's all right. Sorry, the squirrel was going monkey shit crazy, wanted her food. I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Little squirrelio needs her food in the morning, the same as our outside adopted kittens do. That's one of Asha's responsibilities now when she gets up before she leaves for school, is to take food and water out to the baby kitties on the back porch. She wants to go out and play with them, she can feed them too. 1964 Society Hill Tower is a complex of 331-story skyscrapers designed by I.M. Pei and Associates, inaugurated in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sorry, I seen Pei, and you guys know how my brain works. First thing I thought of is ICP. 1965, KTWU TV Channel 11 in Topeka, Kansas begins broadcasting. 1965, Nobel Prize for Chemistry awarded to Robert B. Woodward. 1965, Vivian Beaumont Theater, New York City opens. It's almost as bad as Robert Eugene peeing. Are you peeing? I have to pee. 1967, tens of thousands of anti-Vietnam War protesters march on the Pentagon, besieging the military headquarters for 2 days. If they only would have had that same luck when thousands of protesters marched on Area 51 last year. (1969) Leonard Gersh's Butterflies Are Free premieres in New York City. 1970, Bernadette Devlin is released from prison, having served 4 months of her 6-month sentence for riotous behavior. She was behaving riotously. How dare she? In all truth, $100 of the aforementioned expense was a 900 amp hour battery for my solar setup. That's pretty cool. At least you know your setup is, well, set up. 1971, William H. Rehnquist and Lewis F. Powell nominated to U.S. Supreme Court by Nixon, following resignations of Justices Hugo Black and John Harlan. (1972) Dude closes at Broadway Theater, New York City after 16 performances. But the missus, 1 pair of glasses cost twice as much as my 2 pair. Wow. Wow. 1972, Man of La Manche closes at Beaumont Theater, New York City after 140 performances. Well, it sure as hell did better than Dude did. 1972, Pacific Paradise closes at Palace Theater, New York City after 5 performances. Yeah, I have no clue what trifocal means. I have no clue. I've heard the term before. I don't know how they're set up. You know, bifocals, you got that cute, distinct little line like my glasses down here that I can't wear because I'm looking at normal stuff through my glasses, and the second that I turn my head or something like that and elevate my head in the slightest, everything gets blurry. (1975) Coast Guard Academy first allows women to enroll. Just because they look so much better doing a breaststroke than we do. From what I can tell, it means money. Very true. Very true. I was actually just looking for something else I was going to tell you guys about. Not that you're really interested in it or anything like that, but it's my show, damn it, and I can talk about what I want to. I guess some guy in Texas that does professional prop recreations and stuff like that took a 1960 Cadillac hearse and made an exact screen copy of the Ghostbuster Afterlife hearse, down to everything. Even put the rust on the car that showed up in the new movie, and he's selling it at the Barrett Jackson auction this weekend in Las Vegas. No reserve price, so we'll see. We are the audience. Talk about what we want to hear. Well, you know something? When I do videos and stuff like that, all I ever hear is "good job, great subject, nice video." Da 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 da. Somebody start throwing out some frickin' ideas what you want to hear, because I'm not psychic. So you tell me what you want to hear about, and I'll talk about it. Well, don't need to trim those nose hairs now. "1976 Nobel Prize for Literature awarded to American Saul Bellow. I have no bifocals until Monday, then no glasses at all. No line bifocals. That'd be nice. Guns and or women. Guns are cool. Women are cool. That's the way I look at that. Unless you have a fully automatic rifle, and then guns get hot as they get used more, and women don't. Yeah, they do. I'm just kidding. My wife's probably watching right now. I love you, honey. Guns are cool. Women are hot. I'll give you that. Where would we be without women? The late great Sam Kinison said it best. Thanks God. Thanks for that great big menu. Because we all know what the options are if we don't love women. You ain't using it right. And I'm not commenting. I refuse to play the sexiest card. 1977, U.S. recalls William Bowdler, ambassador to South Africa. Guns, four-wheelers, cars. I like guns, four-wheelers, and cars. Got a dash now, my fiendish friends. See you, if not before, then probably midnight. Sounds good, Tony. Take care. Have a good day. Try to have a little bit of fun. Hopefully the weather holds up for you over there and you can get out and do something today. Take care. We'll see you tonight if we don't catch you before. I was talking to my buddy over in Corby, England the other day, and he asked me how our weather's been. I said, well, of course, we had snow first of the week. I said our high temperatures have been in the 30s, and absolute low 40s and rainy, which it was Tuesday and Wednesday. And he said, "Well, you know, we've had the cold, or we've had the cold, but we've not had the rain." I told him, I said, "So a completely atypical fall in England. Summers when it rains all the time. You can always tell it's a balmy summer day in England when the rain literally comes down in buckets." Here's a topical idea. What is the single greatest invention ever? Latex condoms. Latex condoms. Because if we didn't have those, chances are the world population would be 3 times what it is right now. 1982, private funeral service held for Bess Truman, former First Lady of the United States. 1986, American writer Edward Tracy kidnapped in Beirut. No, seriously, the greatest invention ever. That would be really hard. I mean, so many things have been invented that have changed the world. Um, I don't know. That would be something that would have to be thought about. But good topical idea. 1986, Republic of Marshall Islands need a. Well, wait. I just. Man, son of, I hate it. I hate it when the chat just advances like that. What I just seen was 1986, Republic of Marshall Islands needs a beer and a smoke. Thanks, dog, for popping in like that. Republic of Marshall Islands signs compact of free association with U.S. And Dog comes in and says, on this date, 1964, Iron Dog spoke his first words, "Hey, Ma, I need a beer and smoke." 1964. Well, Bud, happy 58th birthday. 1987, Senate debate begins, rejecting Robert Bork's Supreme Court nomination. Hope you're doing good this morning, brother. And got the beer and smokes. Yes, he did, because he's the dog. 1989, Buck Helm found alive after being buried 4 days in San Francisco earthquake. Y'all remember that earthquake in 89? That's the one that collapsed the highways and stuff out there. That was terrible. I remember TV footage of cars crushed under overpasses and things like that. Ham steak, scrambled eggs, toast. I'll be over in 55 minutes. That sounds good. Because so far, my breakfast today has been coffee. Wonder if Buck is still alive. Possible. Who knows? She put me the back. Nope. Buck survived. He was pulled out of his entrapment after being buried for 4 days, just to be out enjoying life. Less than a week later, working in his garden at home, getting everything prettified back up again, where he was stung by a hornet and suffered anaphylactic shock. So, 1991, former California Governor Jerry Brown announces his run for the U.S. presidency. Man, that went a long way, didn't it? Poor dumb bastard.
If you like my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, baby, let me know.
1991, U.S. hostage Jesse Turner released from 5 years in captivity in Beirut. (2001) United We Stand benefit concert for September 11th, 2001 terrorist attack victims held at RFK Stadium, Washington, D.C. (2018) Julia Louis-Dreyfus is presented with the Mark Twain Prize, comedy's top honor, at a ceremony in New York. Wonder who really gets paid in all those benefit concerts. That's a good question. I always kind of wondered that myself. 2019, Facebook says it has taken down 4 state-backed disinformation campaigns, 3 on Iran, one from Russia, in addition to dozens earlier this year. (2020) FBI says Iran and Russia have U.S. voter information and are trying to influence outcome of U.S. election. Does anybody else besides me find it odd that the terrorists were Arabic, but we went after bin Laden? Now that you mention it. Yeah, it is really odd. Not surprising, mind you, but odd. Templar, good morning, my friend. Hope you're doing good on this Friday morning. All in all, been off my many virtual tours and information searching in Whitechapel. That would be cool. I would love to do an investigation in the Whitechapel area. I have always had a huge interest in Jack, and I would love to make it over across the pond and do a investigation in Whitechapel. Hey Drew, good to see you, love. Hope you're doing good. Things are brighter than they've been for the last few days over here. We started off the week with snow. Our high temperatures have been in the 30s and low 40s. Today we are hitting 71 degrees for a high. It was just 45 yesterday. We're going up almost 30 degrees today, tomorrow, the next day. So things are definitely doing well over here. 2021, actor Alec Baldwin shoots cinematographer Helena Hutchins dead and injures director Joel Souza with a prop gun in rehearsal on film set at Bonanza Ranch, New Mexico. Don't delve into that logistic stuff. Looking for Kennedy's car keys. I'm good, my friend. Oh yeah, definitely snow already. Well, this is one of those very, very rare years where the National Weather Service and the Farmer's Almanac agree. The last time they agreed on anything was 9 years ago when we had over 6 feet of snow. And now they're agreeing again, and they agree that it's going to be a miserably cold winter with excessive amounts of snow. So they said below normal temperatures, above normal snowfall. So we'll see. That's all, folks. Thank you, Rusty. That's some pretty interesting stuff in there today. I appreciate that. Very, very cool. Oh, is that a year already from Baldwin's? Yeah, it's been a year already. They're ready to actually start court on that deal. So we'll see what happens. Hold your breath underwater. Winter's always miserably cold. Yeah, they're talking about one of the coldest winters that we've had in years. Now, if you guys remember right, just 2 years ago, we had wind chills 52 or minus 52, minus 53 degrees. And they're talking about colder than that, plus above normal snowfall. Like I said, just 9 years ago, we had over 6 feet of snow. The snow plows would go through and they would hit the roads as much as they could. It was your responsibility to go out, use a snow blower and a shovel and dig out your mailboxes, because in a lot of places the snow was 2 foot above the top of mailboxes. And the Postal Service said that the mail would run, but they didn't have to get out of their vehicles to walk mail around. So you had to dig out the front of your mailbox, so all they had to do was pull up in their truck, open the door, stick the mail in, and close it back up. So it sucked. I'm here to tell you, it sucked. That's what Ted said. People had snowmobiles back in the day. Snow would be on the ground for months at a time. I remember being out in the country, dude, not long after the winter of 78, and everybody had snowmobiles. Even our little towns that had like no snowmobiling signs on the edge of town was putting black plastic bags over them, because they realized that a lot of people couldn't get from their country home into town without the snowmobile. So they were actually lifting the bans on snowmobiles in some of our towns, letting people go to the grocery store, take care of their normal everyday transactions on snowmobiles. Snowmobiles and snowcats. Nothing compares to 78. No. Not in my lifetime, anyway. 82, 83 was real bad, but it wasn't as bad as 78. I was on the back of a garbage truck doing 50 mile an hour, 20 below zero. Guess how cold that was? Yeah. I'm still frozen some parts. Wow. I'm still froze in some parts. Well, fishing, I'm here to tell you, bud, after not hearing from you for so long, um, I'm glad you're okay. Don't matter if you're still in Georgia, back in Indiana, whatever it is. I'm just glad you're okay. There are many places here. Snow was 20 foot deep. We had a lot of places like that too, especially out in the country. Um, like I said, I remember I was only 10 years old in 78, but I remember the snow plows literally having one path going down our highways, our 2-lane highways, our secondaries. And they would have these little alcoves dug into the side for cars to pull over so other cars could pass by going the opposite direction. No snow blocks out there. A bunch of open, flat cornfields and bean fields, and all it did was blowed and drifted. So, one of their standards was one of the first forensic photos was Jack's last known victim, 25-year-old Mary Jane Kelly, November 19th, 1888. 13 Miller Court. Apparently, Hart was missing and never found. Hmm. Wow. Yeah, it would be very cool. That's always been one of my dreams. Definitely on my bucket list to make it over to London and actually do a walking investigation of the Whitechapel area. Um, it's just amazing that somebody could continuously do what Jack did and not even come close to getting caught. Single lane thing was common here too. I figured it probably was. Yep, Jack the Ripper. You know, now that I think about it, 1888, the video that I done for Sunday, the legend, uh, the original legend that the song is based off of, occurred in Texas in 1889. So that's pretty interesting. We had a couple county workers snowed in at a country home for 6 days. Their truck got stuck when the wind buried it under 10 foot of snow. Well, back in 78, I was living in north central Indiana, only about 50 miles north of Indianapolis, but to the east a little bit. And we literally had a snowdrift that went from the peak of our house clear out through our front yard and over to the porch on our neighbors across the street. My dad's my dad's four-wheel drive and my mom's car were both buried under about 10 foot of snow. My my mom actually went to open the front door of the house, and you know it's common on a glass screen door for the snow to pack on the glass and stuff like that. So she opens the inside door and gets ready to open the screen door, and it won't move. And she's yelling at Dad, the door's frozen shut. So he comes in there and starts tapping around it with his foot and his hand and everything, tries to open it, won't open. So we go out to the garage, which the garage door faced the same direction, and opened the garage door, and it was a white wall. But we went out the back door of the garage and walked out into the alley, and you seen this huge drift all the way out across the street. Nothing on the west side of the house was really affected. There was only about 3 inches of snow. On the east side, you were buried. Hey, KG, good to see you, love. Hope you're doing good. Got to go, everyone. Have an appointment to get to. See you tonight. Talk to you later. All right, JJ. Sounds good, hon. I'll talk to you later. All right, guys. It's 22 after. I got to make a run to the in-house. Y'all talk real nice amongst yourselves. I'll be back in just a second. As you guys can see, um, I'm not as trimmed up as I usually am. I decided I'm going to let my beard grow. My son had one of the fullest, prettiest beards. I mean, we are talking a straight up make the guys from Duck Dynasty jealous kind of beard. And well, apparently, here about a week ago, my daughter-in-law trusted my son to adult properly, and he was burning some stuff in the backyard, and well, needless to say, something went poof and singed half his beard off. I mean, we're talking his beard was down to here. And he's not shaved since he got out of the military. So, yeah, he's let this thing grow for about 7 years, and something poofed and singed the piss out of his beard. So he went and trimmed it up. His wife come home from work after lapping so hard she peed herself because of his trim job. She told him just to go ahead and shave it and start over. So I decided I'm going to go on and let mine grow and see if maybe I can actually grow a beard. I figured since, you know, hair in other places isn't growing anymore, maybe this is finally the time that I'll be able to grow a beard. So we'll see. God only knows. Again, guys, don't forget tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have got Ben from Afterlife Road Productions as our guest. He just completed the mini movie um, about the origins of Afterlife Road and some of their greatest investigations. Um, we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about the history of the group. We're going to talk about some of the folks in the group. We're going to talk about the future of Afterlife Road. They're all still young. Most of them, all of them, just got out of college. There's a few of them that's seniors, I think. But for the most part, it's going to be pretty cool. You know, it's always fun when Ben's here. We always get a good laugh. Today he's bringing his A-plus game. Squatch, good to see you, bud. Yeah, see, that's always been my thing in the past, too, Tony. It gets to itching, especially down here. If I can just get this past, because I shave usually up to about right here and try to keep it trimmed out. So if I can get it just past that itch point where it's pokey, I'll be good. Something like that happened to my nephew many years ago. Tried to relight pilot light on the hot water heater. Needless to say, didn't go well. Singed his hair, eyelashes, and eyebrows. Dang. That sucks. Yeah, it was sad too because I don't know how many bonfires he's lit out there on their property. You got to understand the barn that they have on that property is 110 years old. You could literally pull a semi into the lower level of the barn if the ceiling was a little higher. For some reason, when they built the barn, the ceiling on the bottom level is only 7 foot. But you go up in the hayloft, from the floor to the peak is 30 feet. It's 7 foot just on the sidewalls before you start to make that slope up, that pitch up to the center column that runs the length of the barn. It's over 30 feet. But the barn is long enough and wide enough you could pull 3 semis into this lower level. So, I mean, you're talking 30 feet, 35 feet from side to side, but it's only got a 10-foot door that is 12 foot tall. And though the barn is pretty solid, there was a bunch of wood and stuff laying downstairs. He's been slowly remodeling the house and disposing of some of the old barn wood. The old rotten barn wood. He will not get rid of any wood that's good because people are coming by all the time wanting to buy barn wood from him. Oh, We are down to 7 people watching. We have got 14 thumbs up. And we have got 29 minutes to go. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'll be honest about that. You know, I've not got to celebrate a birthday for my son in many, many, many years. And with them coming up tomorrow, him, the daughter-in-law, which it's also her birthday, bringing my youngest granddaughter and grandson up, it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a good day. And that's the reason I went on and got the video done for Sunday ahead of time. That way I didn't have anything to do tomorrow except enjoy them. So we are gonna start off the day because they're gonna be leaving Muncie, Indiana, at probably 6:00 a.m. That'll put them here about 8:30. We're gonna have some biscuits and gravy for breakfast, and then lunchtime is gonna be homemade chicken and noodles and mashed taters, and then the wife has to get prepared to go to work. So it's going to be a good day. Thank you, Templar. Sadly enough, we couldn't find a decent cake. I told the wife, you know, we got so much going on, just go and buy them, you know, like a half sheet cake or something like that. I'll write the happy birthday stuff on there. Couldn't find one she could afford, so she got this little squirrely ice cream cake. So I'm going to be checking the finances today on the PayPal card. I might just walk uptown or get my buddy to take me out to the farmer's market on the edge of town. I know they have cakes out there. So I'll be checking to see if I can afford to actually get a cake for them, because that little teeny tiny ice cream cake ain't gonna feed everybody. Her intentions were good, but you know, I sat and seen my daughter wipe out one of those ice cream cakes. So that's what she got for her birthday, and I seen her wipe one of those out by herself in about 3 days. So yeah, there's not a lot of not a lot of cake there, and you can't decorate an ice cream cake. So if the 13-year or 14-year-old can wipe out an ice cream cake by herself, could you imagine what a 32-year-old could do? Especially one that's over 6 feet tall and outweighs his old man. I like ice cream cakes too. I'll be honest about it. I love them. That little crunchy, crumbly center in between the 2 layers of ice cream. Then you've got the cake. Then you got all that chocolate icing on top. Love it. Of course, my pieces are only like yay big. It's all I can afford myself per day. But I'd be happy just eating the ice cream in the crunchy center. I'll be honest about it. Crunchy fine middle layer. I love how you phrase that. Again, for those who have only been in here for a few minutes, be looking out Sunday. for the video that I've already got done. It is the true legend behind probably the most popular song ever written. It has been recorded and re-recorded over 50 times by 50 different performers. And it speaks of an old legend. But while I was researching other things, I found an actual story coming out of Texas, written by a professional news agency that talked about the true legend behind the song. It's going to be good. I can promise you that. One good thing about living alone, I can get one and not have to share. Well, let's put it this way. Those little ice cream cakes they sell here are so small. My wife got my daughter one for her birthday and got a separate one for me and the wife to share. And I think we both got 2 pieces off of it, and it was gone. And my daughter, I think she either wiped hers out in 3 or 4 settings over a 3-day period. So they're teeny tiny, but they're expensive as hell. I think she paid like $10 for that little teeny tiny cake, and it's like, my God! I remember back in the day when I was young, when they made those ice cream pies and stuff. And I mean, literally, it was a 9-inch pie. You could feed a family of 4 at least twice on one of those pies. And hell, they've made cakes out of them now, and they've taken them down to half the size that the pie was. Damn, I feel like I've been trampled by a herd of bison. Feel like stomp shit, huh? Well, you know, Tony, maybe if you would actually take a day and just chill, relax, watch some TV, keep your slippers on, keep your old comfy PJ bottoms on, sit back in your lazy chair, and just watch TV all day long. To hurry up, tramadol. Oh man, there are those times. There are those times. And then, of course, you know, I keep talking about it, but it's because it's going to be epic. Do not forget tonight, 7 o'clock. Ben from Afterlife Road Productions is going to be here. And you know it's always epic when Ben shows up. We always have fun. That battery's really heavy. I'm sure that battery is really heavy. And I am sure you are hurting like a fiend right now. So I don't blame you one bit, my friend, for aching for something to make the pain go away. I don't even try doing anything heavy anymore without help. And since I won't let my wife do a lot of excessive lifting and everything else, I don't get a lot of help. So I understand. be honest, I let my daughter do more than I let my wife do. It's beginning to ease. Good. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. You know, I'm sitting here trying to remember everything that I wanted to talk to you guys about this morning, and all I can think about is tomorrow. Tomorrow and everything I still got to do. Then again, I'm also looking very forward to this coming week. Of course, this coming week is the last week for the 35 days of Halloween, so you know I got to outdo myself on the videos this week. Plus, I got the live streams. Plus, we got Halloween. Yeah, I know tomorrow is just a day away. But you know, I only get to see my son a couple times a year because of the wife's work schedule and stuff like that. So to actually have him come up and spend the day. Yeah, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Very well put. Oh man, it's gonna be a busy week. In 2 weeks, I will probably be completely white. Um, Getting everything ready for that deal at the Morse Performing Arts Center on the 29th. Yeah, on a good day, I could write greeting cards. Hey, that would be a good side business for you. Sit down and design greeting cards, sell them online. You're retired now. It's time you had a easy life, bud. You put in your 40 some odd years of tending to other folks' needs. Kick back, enjoy life, tend to your own. That's what I keep telling the old man. There's fewer days ahead than there are behind. Enjoy what's left of it. Good morning, Burnaby. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well this morning. Happy Friday. Technically, kind of, sort of, almost, but not quite. It's the beginning of the weekend. I don't want easy. Bet you didn't say that when it come to your women when you were younger. You dirty old thing. Easy is boring. Yeah, I could see that. A good challenge on occasion does keep us on our toes, don't it? Whether it's a physical challenge or a mental challenge or whatever it could be, keeps us on our toes. Goodness gracious sakes, down to 13 and a half minutes. My God. I always sit and I look forward to doing our live streams. I got 2 hours to spend with y'all, and then they fly by. What they say is true. Time flies when you're having fun. And I'll be the same way come Sunday. I've sat and looked forward all week long to spending my son's birthday with him. And Sunday I'll be upset because there wasn't more time, because it flew by. It always does. We look forward to doing things in life and trying new things or going off and doing something we love to do. And then when it's done and over with, we sit down, we regret the fact we didn't have more time to do it. I'm sure you feel the same way, Tony, when you get out there to the homestead and you look at what you've accomplished. You bought that land, you made something of it, you got your cabin out there now. You go out, you spend 2, 3, 4 days out there, then you go back to Illinois and you sit down and you think, man, I wish I could have stayed longer. I wish I could have spent more time out there. That's how I always am anyway. I look forward to going to a specific event or something like that, and when it's over, you know, I sit and I think, man, I wish it would have been longer. Or when the event coordinators offer you one more night, um, and you leave and you're heading home, you're like, man, I should have stayed tonight and just came home tomorrow. One more day sleeping out under the stars, one more day of coffee cooked in my big gallon pot, one more day of beans over the fire, one more day dressing in funny clothes. To be honest, there's an overwhelming list of shit to do at the cabin. Oh, I'm sure there is. I mean, that's going to be your last home. I mean, you have done so much work over the last, year and a half out there, and now it's finally coming together like you want it. Yeah, there's still a list of work to do, but my God, man, when you get out there and you look at that, you're out in the woods, and you look at that little cabin that you had moved in there for you and your wife. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it. I think I'd probably tell my beautiful wife, come back home, take care of yourself, take care of the little girl, take care of grandma, just leave me here. And, well, when you come back next week or in 2 weeks or in a month, if I'm alive, then we'll know it's meant to be. And if not, bury me out on the South 40 somewhere and do what you want with the place. It's always better to leave in the morning. There's a lot of events, yeah, and that's why I say it's always better to hang out that last night and just come home on Monday. If you haven't got anything, making you come back home on Sunday evening, it's always nice to come back and that Monday morning. You've not been up the whole day, had to end your day at 4, 5, or 6 o'clock, pack up, tear down, spend 2 or 3 hours loading everything up after you've spent, tore everything down, load it all up, and then drive for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or however long it is for you to get back home. it's always the better to get all the or get all the essential stuff loaded up that evening, kick back next to your fire, know you got one more night stretching out, relaxing with the night sounds around you, and finish the work on Monday morning and head home. I plan to spend time there on my own, but she don't drive, so I have to go get her. Oh, okay. All right, well, I guess if you don't show back up to get her, then she'll know you was eaten by a wolf or something, and, well, you know. Without living history setups, normally the site's closed at sunset or dark, so trying to tear down packing in the dark. I can, yeah, yeah, and you know, I've been doing a lot of stuff with the historical society here in town. They're the vice president, who I've been doing a lot of hanging with. He has a Civil War event down in southern Indiana in November. Wants me to come along with him. They're not allowing any officers there, so it's either enlisted men or civilians. Needless to say, I'll be if I do figure out that I can go, it's gonna be even that much more fun because, well, no drilling, no ordering folks around, just kicking back, being a wagon master in my pretty much normal clothes. That popcorn kettle was hot for hours after using. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. You got to keep you got to keep that oil at a certain temperature to keep that popcorn popping all day long. I'm sure it was. Oh man. Somebody told me once, when your nose itches, it means you got company coming. Well, my nose and my palms itch today, so I hope whoever comes brings money. Because I know my guest tomorrow won't be. So, but they're bringing some furniture. I told you guys here a couple weeks ago that my aunt finally retired, moved to Florida with her daughter, and left a 5-bedroom house full of furniture, and had my mom and dad come up from Tennessee, go through everything, auction stuff off, take what they wanted. So that's only about 20 miles north of my son. He went up, joined my mom and dad, loaded the truck and trailer down with tables and chairs and stuff like this. And my aunt, needless to say, she was a frivolous individual. She had no concept of the value of a dollar because she had so many of them. She probably couldn't have counted them all in a lifetime. So we're going to be getting like new furniture and stuff tomorrow. I might actually be able to get rid of my leather easy chair and have like a nice comfy easy chair to go in this new clean and improved living room. It's going to be nice to sit back in a cloth chair. To be honest, it was really easy to do that popcorn. Or is it buried too far up your bum? Well, and see, that's just it, Tony, and that's what was weird about my aunt. My aunt had stocks and bonds and different companies and stuff like that. My uncle, when he was still alive, was military. Then he was Union when he got out of the military. So she had not only her own retirement, but her stocks and bonds. She had his military pension. She had his Union pension. She was living high on the hog after he passed away. It was not unlike my aunt, and she's the only one in the family like this, and that was probably one of the reasons we never all really got along. But it was not unlike my aunt to say, "Oh, I have a dinner party to go to. I'm going to go spend $1,000 on a dress, or I'm going to go spend $1,000 on a new handbag." You know, it was when she left, when she retired and moved to Florida, she left 5 closets full of high-priced dresses and coats and Michael Kors and Coach and handbags and stuff like that. But you know, brand new couch. The family always used cast iron, so I've got a bunch of cast iron coming. I've got furniture coming. I've got tables coming. I've got all kinds of stuff coming. So we need to figure out where all this shit's going to go. My aunts would borrow my car because they couldn't afford one. I never seen my aunt didn't have a Cadillac. As a matter of fact, my cousin's husband drove my aunt to Florida in her Cadillac convertible. Later, I'll be reading my new 80-page mag on ghost hunting, secrets of the paranormal, investigating, talking to spirit with Amy and Andy from Kindred Spirits. Very cool. Very cool. They didn't fit you? No, none of them fit me. My aunt was a scrawny butt. She's just like my mom. 110 pounds, soaking wet. So yeah, they didn't fit. I did like the handbags though. A couple of them really brought out the blue in my eyes. So I have a huge problem with people that started down here and made it up here and felt like they had to flaunt it. So, you know, that's just me. That's how I was raised. We never had anything. We never will have anything. Enough to survive on and be happy, and that's the extent of it. So, but all right, guys, it is that time. It is time for me to be like a fat baby and head out. Time for me to be like a tree and leave. Time for me to be like a bunch of bats and... What the hell do you call a bunch of bats? Well, for now, we'll just get the flock out of here. Tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Ben from Afterlife Road Productions will be our guest, and we are going to put him through the ringer, getting all the information. And I have hazel eyes, which is great. Later, I'll off to the laundromat. Love you too, bud. You take care of yourself. Be careful doing laundry. Don't get sucked in. KG, we'll see you tonight. Your color changing with whatever colors are around. Very cool. Women's love that stuff. Oh my God, tell me about it. Jesus, my God. Tell me about it. But you guys take care. We'll catch you tonight, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Ghost to Ghost PM. But until then, y'all take care of yourselves. Although might go for a spin. There you go. That's a good way of looking at it. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. We'll catch y'all tonight. Have a good day, y'all.